Hey boys and girls, this is Mrs. Scales, your science teacher. I'm here going to teach you about the lab rules, the lab safety rules. I had a really good question on Zoom today that I wanted to address. Some student asked about, why do we have to do lab rules when we're not even at school yet? Well, it's just good to know this stuff. A lot of it is common sense stuff, but once you come back to the classroom, you'll know all the lab safety rules. And then also on top of that, whenever you do experiments at home, which are allowed, you can do those in the safest way possible. So we're going to go over 17 rules today. For each of these, I want you to explain why we need to follow these on your paper. So in your science notebook, this is the very first page of your science notebook. You're going to explain why we need to follow these rules 1 through 17. Very brief, not even a full sentence. All right, so the first one is to always wear your safety goggles, especially when you're working with chemicals. And the reason for this is your reason why. You want to wear goggles because chemicals can get in your eyes and cause you to go blind. So you don't want that to happen. Goggles, they are part of your protective equipment. We call that PPE. And they help protect your eyes so that way you don't lose your sense of sight. All right, for the second one, never reach across a flame source. Obvious reason, you don't want to burn yourself. So that's the why of why we need to follow this rule. All right, next part is to immediately notify your teacher, which is me, if any chemical gets onto your skin or your clothing, and find out what you need to do to clean it off. Not all chemicals are washed off with water, so you need to make sure you come to me, especially if you're working with something that might irritate the skin. Always before a lab, I tell you beforehand, hey, this chemical is dangerous, so that you know that if you do get it on you, you need to come see me. So always tell your teacher that. Next rule is if you're working with test tubes like in a chemistry lab, when you're mixing certain chemicals or heating them up, you never want to look down the test tube. And the reason for that is once you start to mix chemicals together, they start to react. The same thing as if you're heating something up, it starts to bubble and it starts to heat up. And that can cause those chemicals to get into your eyes, which we talked about before, can link to blindness. So that's the why. You don't want to go blind. All right, number 5. Number 5 is always point the test tube away from your body when you're heating it up over a flame. And it's sort of like the last slide. You don't want that to get into your eyes. You also don't want it to get all over your skin or your clothing. Also, you don't want to point it towards your neighbor and say, hey, look at this. Because what can end up happening is you can spill that all over your friend, and you don't want to do that. You don't want them to get hurt. So always point the test tube away. Why? So you don't spill chemicals on you or your neighbor. All right, this is my favorite lab rule because I love this word, waft. Never smell a chemical directly from a container. It says wave your hand over the opening of the container and waft the fumes towards your nose. The reason for that is because when you have the direct source of the chemical, that's where it is the strongest, the smell is. So if you take your hands and gently go like this and waft, it brings the smell gently to your nose. Now, sometimes some chemicals, you don't even want to waft them because they're too strong. So this is for chemicals that you feel comfortable doing that with. For instance, if any of you have ever used nail polish remover, you know that chemical is very strong. It has a very strong sense of smell, or a very strong smell to it. So when you are using that, if you were to waft it, it's still kind of strong, so you don't want to do that. This is mainly for chemicals that are more safer for your nose. Now, the why behind this. You can have a chemical burn on the inside of your nose, and you don't want to do that. So waft instead of sniffing from the tube. All right, number 7, never taste a chemical. Do not eat, drink, or chew gum in the lab. This should be very obvious. The why is because you don't want to get poisoned. Sometimes you don't fully understand what chemicals can do to your body. So you don't want to eat, you don't want to drink them. Also, another thing is that you don't want to chew gum. And this is what I explained to my students in class today. You don't want to chew gum because chemicals, they kind of diffuse or move through the air. And that's how we smell chemicals. Like, for instance, when cookies are baking in the oven. Well, that smell is teeny tiny molecules of that chemical that are floating throughout the air. As you're chewing gum or as you're eating, you're inhaling that chemical, and the gum sticks to that chemical, and you're just constantly sitting there inhaling it and chewing it. So you're slowly poisoning yourself. So you never chew gum in a lab, and never eat anything in the lab, and don't even drink water in the lab because you don't know if something may have mixed into it or gotten into the air. So I always tell my students, if you know you go get water, just go to the water fountain. All right, number 8. Always clean up your work area when you're done. Put the equipment back. And here's why. You clean up your work area for the next person. For instance, let's say I'm a student, I'm working with some strong chemicals, and I don't wipe down my table. Well, the next student comes and sits down, and they may place their arms in it or their hands in it, and they may get a chemical burn on their skin. So you always clean up for the next person, and you always put the supplies away where you got them, just so that everybody can stay safe. Number 9, read and follow all directions exactly as they're written. If in doubt, ask your teacher for help. So this is probably one of the most important rules because following directions can keep us all safe. I know for me as a science teacher, the directions there are to make sure, 1, that you're safe, but also 2, that your experiment works and you get results out of it. So make sure you follow directions. That way, again, we all stay safe. All right, number 10. Never mix the chemicals without my permission. You don't know sometimes how those chemicals react? For instance, if you are cooking bacon and you know how it makes a grease, that grease, if you add it with water, will catch on fire. That's the worst thing that you can do. Grease fires, you never put out with water because it only makes it smoke more and it makes it worse. You have to actually cover that fire with either some kind of powder, like a baking powder, or flour, or kitty litter, or a thick like blanket that you know will smother it immediately, because those chemicals react differently with water. Sometimes you don't know how they will react, so don't just start playing around. All right, number 11. Never push or run in the lab. This rule really applies at all time. We just need to treat each other with respect, and plus we want to keep our neighbors safe. Number 12. Keep lids on your bottles and your containers when not in use. There's actually 2 reasons we came up with this in class today. The first reason why we do this is so that if somebody knocks it, it doesn't spill the chemical on them. And the second one is that the fumes from that chemical are strong and they can kind of like dissipate out and then go and float through the air of the room, and then you inhale it. So, for instance, I know I mentioned earlier nail polish remover. If you just have, like when I use it, I recap it so the smell's not constantly like burning my nose. That way it's not just like free floating throughout the air. All right, number 13, never use broken or chipped glassware. The reason why for this is because you don't want to cut yourself. Also, you don't want your containers to start leaking whatever chemical that's inside of them. All right, number 14. Keep your work area clean and keep all materials away from a flame or heat source. So that second part there is the part that we haven't talked about yet. If you have any of your lab papers or your science notebook near open flame, which we do have those in science class, it's called a Bunsen burner, you need to keep it away so you don't catch a fire. And obviously if something does catch on fire, you tell me right away. So that way I can put out the fire for you. And then, of course, if it's something big where I might need your help, I will tell you, hey, go run and get me some water right quick, or go run and get the principal or somebody else. I might need some help with getting that out. But tell me first if you do catch a fire. That way I can kind of take care of it more. All right, rule number 15. Immediately tell me if you get a cut or any other kind of small injury when you're doing your experiment. The reason for this is sometimes when you do something small to yourself, like a small cut, it may get worse later. So tell me right away, because sometimes chemicals get into your blood when you cut yourself, especially if it's like with a beaker that has a chemical in it. So tell me whenever you do that. That way I know what to expect, and just to make sure you don't get worse from that cut. Also, if you just tell me, I can help you put a Band-Aid on it and stuff too. All right, next one is to wash your hands after your experiment. So the why for this is to wash off your hands from any chemicals. You might be going to lunch for your next period. You might be going to your next class. You don't want to take those chemical messy hands to your next class or to lunch. You definitely don't want to mix it in with your food. So you wash your hands so it cleanses your hands of everything that you touch in the lab. Now usually you will also be wearing gloves, but sometimes things go like underneath your gloves, like the chemicals, so you still wash your hands after you remove your gloves as well. Just a little extra precaution. Now, obviously with COVID, we should be washing our hands anyway, because it helps to clean the germs off your hands as well. All right, and then number 17. For number 17, it says keep your hair tied back, wear closed-toe shoes, and wear a lab coat or apron. Now, all this stuff that we mentioned, this is part of your personal protective equipment. This also includes your goggles, your gloves, as your personal protective equipment. We also call that PPE for short. You may have heard of PPE in the news because masks that everybody are wearing now, those are an example of PPE as well for COVID. So you keep your hair pulled back so it doesn't get near a heat source and catch on fire or get any kind of chemical in it. You wear closed-toe shoes so you don't get chemical on your skin, on your feet. And you wear a lab coat just to make sure you don't get those chemicals on your clothes, and you take it to your next class or take it home with you. All right, so those are all the lab safety rules on your paper and your notebook on page 1. Make sure you went through and wrote down the reason why we need to follow each of these rules. This is going to be on your first quiz for Friday. All right, have a good day.